So I just got my custom hood vent in from FDF Race Shop. So let's unbox this thing and get it installed. So I picked this hood vent up from FDS Race Shop. They're located in Canada, and they have a couple different options on their website that are in stock. But I got the, they have a custom option, so I measured up the OEM 240 hood and kind of went along with the factory hood lines. So, as you can see, I already kind of drew it up on the hood, and just to get an idea of what I wanted, and took some measurements and sent them the measurements, and they were able to make a custom one off of that. Otherwise, they have like 3 different options that they have that you could just buy, and it's $100 for the universal ones or $150 for the custom ones. So I went with the custom, and it only took like a week until they shipped it, and a couple days to get here from Canada, which I was really surprised, especially considering it was shipped FedEx, and FedEx likes to take forever. So here it is. Good. So here's a close-up of what I drew compared to what I got after I made my measurements. So you can see I wanted it to run nicely with the body line there on both sides of the hood, and then I did the little spikes at the top like your typical aftermarket 240 hood. So I'm gonna go ahead and Sharpie a border around that and start cutting, drill holes, and do my rivnuts all the way around, and we'll see how it comes out. So I centered up the hood vent, made an outline, and marked all my mounting holes. So now I'm gonna go ahead and make a new outline on the inside of the mounting holes, because if I cut on this line, then I'd have nothing to mount it to. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll be ready to cut. Alright, so everything is laid out on the hood, and what I ended up doing was tracing on these vent lines to give me an idea how much room I have, because like this hole is really tight, and I just put these little ears on here. That gives me enough room to mount the rivnut. So I'm gonna first drill all the holes, and then we can cut the opening in the center and install the rivnuts and mount the hood vent and see how it looks. Junky bits. Don't ever buy drill bits by Skill. They're like Fisher Price. My drill's dead.
So now that all the holes are drilled out, I'll go ahead and start installing some of the rivnuts. I only have a handful left, so I'll have to order some more, but I have enough so that I can get the hood vent installed. So I'm gonna be using M5 rivnuts. And if you have one of these, it makes it super easy. So I installed all the rivnuts that I have, and I'm gonna push the car outside real quick before I go ahead and cut the hood out. So I got most of it cut out. I just have to go around here yet. Well, now I gotta decide whether or not I want to keep this, because it's gonna look gay if I keep it in, but how floppy is the hood gonna be without it? So obviously I decided to cut the support out of the hood, which the hood is still pretty solid, and once I bolt on the hood vent, it should bring back some stability. So I'm gonna go ahead and install the rest of the rivnuts that I got in the mail, and then we'll bolt the hood vent on and bend the vents. Alright, so I have to re-drill these holes just a little bit bigger than what they are, because the M5 bolt just barely fits in there. So I'm going to drill them a little bit bigger so I have some wiggle room. Alright, so I'm going to re-drill them with a 15/64 bit. That should give me enough wiggle room to get every hole lined up.
Alright, so everything's tightened down, and the last step we have to do is just bend these vents up.
So that's pretty much it for the video. That's the install on the hood vent. Last thing I'm gonna do is take it back off and clean up all the edges. And it's one step closer to paint and one step closer to getting the car done. So thanks for watching.